And we start in the Rossborough Mixed Premier League. Manx Radio's hockey correspondent Sam Spooner is live in the studio this evening. 1 point separated Bacchas A and Vikings A in the standings. 1 goal separated them after their match today. Bacchas A 3, Vikings A 2, firmly advantage Bacchus in the title race.
Yeah, and they've taken a 3-point lead now at the halfway stage of the season. Bacchus A goal scorers with Andy Whiting with 2 and Johnny Callow on the score sheet there. Vikings A, though, today they seem to have hit a rich vein of form after really what's been a bit of a slow start to the season, shall we say. But today they've proved that they can challenge Bacchus A. And as long as they can sort of keep going, keep winning for the rest of the season, they stand a chance towards the end of the season. We can't forget that Vikings A are the only team in that Premier League that have an ally in the shape of their own B team. And although I can't see Bacchus A slipping up between now and the end of the season, last week proved never say never. Danny Coombs and Kim Carney on the score sheet for Vikings A.
It is a long season, though. We know that form does dip, peak and trough. We know that. But it's a long way back for Vikings, isn't it? We said that they probably needed something from this game so that it made it a bit easier for them if they were to recover from that 1-point deficit. But now it does look like an uphill struggle for them.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is an uphill struggle. Bacchus A are firmly in command of the league at the halfway stage now. It was 1-1 at half time, and for the whole sort of first half of the season, I've been saying the Vikings A are struggling in front of goal. They're not, their finishing isn't quite right. They're getting into the right attacking positions hasn't been quite right. They haven't had the driving force from midfield, sort of running into the D to finish as well. But today they've proven they can push forward, and that cup game between Bacchus A and Vikings A is going to be monumental. That could be Vikings' season right there.
Bacchus A 3, Vikings A 2 in the game of the day in the Rossborough Mixed Premier League. It makes that start to the season for Vikings A all the more bizarre. Let's go to the other end of the table, though. Castletown Celts with an historic win last week. Couldn't repeat the feat today, though. 6-2 defeat for the Celts against Ramsey A, who were level on points with them on 2 points at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, and sort of brought back down to earth, really. Robert Masson got both goals for Castletown Celts. Ramsey A, Joe Quine with 2, Sam Moffat with 2, and Billy Kane and Vicky Garner on the score sheet for Ramsey A as well. What that does do is move Ramsey A into 4th, ahead on goal difference of Vikings B. But more importantly, Castletown Celts have now got minus 15 goal difference, whereas Vikings B have minus 5. Even if they find 2 points between now and the end of the season, and Vikings B don't get any more points before the end of the season, they've got to make up a 10 goals to deficit, which is going to be very difficult for them. But like I said last night and what I said at lunchtime today, Castletown Celts are probably the one side in that league that you will say are probably the most determined side, and they do have the ability to stave off relegation.
Honours even between Bacchas A and Vikings B, 2 apiece.
Yeah, it was a really good game to be... I played in this game. It was a really, really good game. The first half, Vikings B were 2-0 up through Macklin Wilson with both goals. But Bacchas A in the second half, and strangely enough, Bacchas got themselves into good positions, but they couldn't quite get a shot on target. They got 2 shots on target. One of them was an absolute worldie from Ben Stevenson from a long-range aerial from Greg Miller. The Vikings defender missed the ball out the air, bounced, first-time strike. No way of stopping a goal like that. You can make yourself as big as you want. But it was an unbelievable finish from Ben Stevenson, I have to say. And then right in the last sort of 10-15 minutes, Chris Killier popped up from a shot that was deflected about 3 or 4 times, and he just popped up in front of everybody else and placed it into the back of the net to earn themselves a 2-2 draw. I would say this game, on the display in this game from both sides, was a lot of young players in that field. And Greg Miller texted in earlier, the captain of Bacchas A, saying if that's the strength of the youngsters in both these sides, the future of Vikings and Bacchas is assured. And even though it was fielded full of youngsters, the enthusiasm, the mindset right from the off was give it 100%. There was no aggro like you'd normally get in a game like this. It was just a really pleasant game, end to end, and great game to be played.
Whereas Bacchus A might be in pole position with a 3-point advantage at the top of the Premier League, you get the feeling it's far from done in terms of entertainment, because that relegation scrap will go down to the wire, you imagine.